Mr. Aderemi Adeoye, who is a former police commissioner, retired as a police commissioner serving in Anambra State. You're welcome to Sunrise City this morning.
Thank you very much.
Well, I was speaking to my colleague this morning, and of course, Nigerians, and I said, look, that was a really heartbreaking sight. You know, seeing police officers who have served this country meritoriously having to protest to get what is due them. I'm sure that as a retired commissioner of police yourself, you must be really, really heartbroken. What went wrong with the contributory pension system which they are complaining about?
Basically, I think the contributory pension scheme is such that does not meet with the aspiration and the minimum expected standard of living for one who has served this country for that length of period of 35 years. That is virtually all their life. And most of these police officers, policing is the only thing they know how to do. They have no secondary skills. Many of them don't have any other profession they can fall back upon. And this contributory pension scheme is part of their own salaries while in service. They contribute 8% of their salary monthly to this scheme, while the federal government contributes 10% to give a total of 18% in accordance with the Pension Reform Act of 2014. Now, the first problem is that these benefits are never gotten on time. I think the system is inefficient and ineffective. For example, you retire even as a commissioner of police, you have to wait for about 2 years before you get your benefits. From the rank of commissioner of police downward, your salary is stopped the very day you retire. And for the 2 years you are waiting to get your benefits, nobody cares how you feed, how you buy your medication, how you pay your children's school fees, or where you live. For 2 years. So within that period, many retired officers die off.
It's really heartbreaking.
That is the reality. They die off. Now, when the benefits eventually come, they give it in bits and pieces. For example, they probably give you half of your gratuity, what are entitled to as gratuity, while the rest is distributed over monthly pension payments. Now, the amount is so paltry. A retired commissioner of police used to earn about 87,000 naira as monthly pension until recently when the president ordered an increment. And when that increment was paid, the commissioner got 15,000. So up till now, he earns less than 100,000 naira. Of course, these are officers who retired many years before our set. I have not gotten mine, so I don't know yet. And I've retired over a year ago. So I don't know yet what it will be.
So you already knew that you have to wait for 2 years.
Yes, I programmed my mind that before I see anything, I have to wait for 2 years before you see gratuity, before you see any pension. Pension comes after gratuity. And then many officers are looking forward to this gratuity to set up a small business. Some even need it to complete their house, the shelter they want to put their family in. So many of them are so depressed, so dejected, that the system does not care. And that is actually the message being sent out by the inefficiency in the system. The amount itself is nothing to write home about, not to talk of prompt payment. It doesn't happen.
We haven't, well, the numbers that we have seen, some people say this is a symbolic protest in the sense that perhaps the number of people that has been affected by this is far much more than the people that we have seen on the roads, you know, carrying the placards. Can you tell us what the sentiment has been like amongst retired police officers that you know seeing this protest on TV?
Seeing the protest on TV, I can tell you that they represent majority of the retirees who are actually affected. Everybody's affected. No police retiree is exempted. Every retiree who is a police officer from the rank of commissioner of police downwards are affected. And what those you see on TV are just a microcosm, a very small, insignificant, infinitesimal number of the population of police retirees. So indeed, this is just symbolic.
The IG of police spoke yesterday saying that the matters upon which they are protesting are issues that are already being addressed. They're working on it. It's just that they're not aware of it. How reassuring would you say his words were after the meeting he had with the retired police officers yesterday?
I read about that meeting. I was not there. However, the report I got of the proceedings at the meeting portrayed the IG as being sensitive, and concerned about the welfare of the officers. The problem was not his own creation. It had existed before he came into office. And when he came in, he had been rubbing minds with officers to see a way, to ameliorate the situation. Initially, he was not in support of the exit of the police from the contributory pension scheme. His question was, exit to where? And the answer to that is exit to wherever the military, the DSS, the NIA exited to. Before the contributory pension scheme, there was the defined benefit scheme. I'm not a legal expert, and I must tell you, since I've not gotten one, I will not know which one is better. But the fact is that an army captain, for example, gets about 300,000 naira in monthly pension. That's the equivalent of a deputy superintendent of police, while the commissioner of police gets less than 100,000. So you can easily see the injustice in the system. The police officers spend all their lives protecting the nation and the citizenry. And what is good for the geese should be good for the gander. There is urgent need to revisit this issue promptly. I'm also aware that there's a bill before the House of Representatives, and they have moved it now to Committee of the Whole. All right. So maybe when that happens, they will establish the Nigeria Police Force Pension Board and exit the police from the contributory pension scheme, which we believe is the beginning of addressing this issue. So the IG on his part has informed recently that they are looking inward to see how they can put measures in place to augment what is already payable from internal police resources. That will be a welcome development, but the pronouncement is not the desired end result. It is implementation. The devil is in the details. So when that is implemented, it will actually give relief to a lot of police retirees, many of whom at present die before their time.
I do believe that Nigeria owes its police force an apology, because it is untenable that we'll have police officers retire and wait 2 years to get any benefits whatsoever. I mean, and as a result of that, we lose people, who have served, a lot of them meritoriously, this country. We certainly will keep tabs on this particular matter and see how, the IG, lives up to the words of promise that he has made.
I want to thank you for your empathy. And I want to reach out to my colleagues, retired officers, that even as they showcase to the world the plight of retired police officers, they must not lose their sense of policing. They must not do anything that will allow miscreants or people who do not mean well for the nation to hijack the protest. They must always be law-abiding and be peaceful in their conduct. And they must have confidence in the leadership, both of the country and of the force, to resolve the problem. We must retain this confidence, because when hope is lost, all is lost. We must keep hope alive, and better days shall come.
And that's the hope that we have as well. Mr. Aderemi Adeoye, we have to thank you for coming on Sunrise Daily this morning.
The pleasure is mine.